Good morning, hockey enthusiasts and lovers. We are back on. We are back with the Junior Africa Cup being hosted at the Devon Astro Hockey Stadium in Windhoek, Namibia. My name is Calvin Itungi. Alongside me is Watapi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really beautiful but yet a little bit chilly day today. We're about to kick off our first match, which is Zambia versus Uganda.
Next, we will have the Zimbabwe men playing the Egyptian men. That's gonna be an interesting one because this will
hmm
be a battle. This will be one to watch indeed. After that, we will have the Kenyan women facing the Zimbabwean women, followed by South Africa's women facing Namibia's women at 3, Namibia's men facing Zambia's men at 5, and finally, to end off the day, we will have South Africa's men facing Kenya's men. On the first, our first match of the day will be Zambia versus Uganda. Just up in front of you, you can see the lineup for Zambia. We have Mwale Beatrice leading the team once again, alongside with their goalkeeper, Miss Chungu Chengelo. We saw some electrifying
hmm
saves from her along the tournament. And their coach, Miss Luando Godfrey, hopefully setting them up for the win today. We shall see.
Yeah.
For the Uganda lineup, we have Alimo Jolly leading the Ugandan Warriors today with their goalkeeper, Namwase Hajira. We saw some electrifying saves from her as well throughout the tournament. And their coach, Miss Nisereko Moses, setting up the women today. Hopefully, she can also lead her team to a victory. As the table stands, we can see that South Africa still tops the table, undefeated in this tournament yet, followed by Namibia, which has also been undefeated throughout the tournament, followed by Zimbabwe, which has one loss but is still tied with Namibia in points, followed by Kenya, Uganda, and Zambia. This game could be unique as it has a potential for one of the three bottom teams to go into the third and fourth place. Anything can happen.
hmm
Today's games will really be electrifying as they could be deciding who would be playing off in a chance to qualify for the Junior World Cup being hosted in Chile this year. Just on your screen, you can see the teams are setting up. You can hear the cheers from the Zambian women as they call themselves. They give their war cries. They are about to battle it out. This will be one to watch, so I hope you are all tuning in to this game.
Right, so we're just waiting for umpires to be ready and so that the matchup can begin. Calvin, what do you think? What what predictions do you think, or what outcome do you think is gonna?
Because this is one of the three bottom teams are actually fighting it out for an opportunity to play for the third place position
hmm
for the Junior Africa Cup. They most likely will be facing either Zimbabwe or one of these teams, and we are not sure yet. But based off what I've seen, it can still go 50-50. The Ugandan women have a very good press. They work in sync at times and being led by their captain that has a strong will and heart. The Zambian women will need to have their A game in this competition. They might just have their first win of the tournament,
hmm
and this will play a key role as this game could decide who qualifies or who doesn't. However, we do still have another game where Kenya still has to play, and if the Kenyan women win, it will all be a matter of goal
Difference,
difference.
yeah.
But I expect some great hockey from the women today. As you can see, they are just set up waiting for that whistle so they can bolt into the game. You
The
can really see,
anticipation, they're all ready. You can really see that.
indeed, you
hmm
can. We are really just anticipating great hockey today. Beautiful clear skies, nice chilly weather, not too cold, just the right temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Great for hockey indeed.
100%.
And there they go. The Ugandan women straight into the attack, but Zambia intercepts it and is now on the counter. However, Uganda gets the ball back. You can already see this game is going to be one to watch. So don't get off your TVs or screens or YouTube. You're really not gonna want to miss this. Once again, there are our names. My name is Calvin Itungi. Alongside me is Watapi Virore.
Yeah.
And as you can see there, we have our umpires, Miss Mahmoud Fatma from Egypt, assisted by Irene Handura of Namibia, and the reserve umpire on the sideline is Miss Mashoko Munyashe from Zimbabwe. You can already see that Zambia is trying to get ahead of the game by really pressing high, but Uganda will not let them be, as they are also now on the counter, quick to release the ball. Now the Ugandan women are on the counter as they win themselves a long corner.
Mm-hmm.
What are your predictions for the scoreline today?
Well, Zambia really needs this win, as you can see from the log, it sits at the bottom, right? So obviously I feel like they're gonna try as hard as they can, but obviously Uganda also wants to play in the for the third position. So honestly, I'm not gonna say anything. It's definitely a 50-50 chance that either of these teams could win this matchup.
So far we haven't seen something extreme yet. It's a balanced game between both teams getting high into the press.
Mm-hmm.
No one trying to set back, everybody wanting an opportunity.
And the first short corner.
And the first short corner is won by Uganda's number 10, Miss Nisame Pauline. Brilliant stuff, giving an opportunity to her team to take the lead.
They can capitalize and put one in for them so early in the game.
We've seen Zambia's goalkeeper have some astounding saves throughout the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Will she continue her brick nickname or the wall nickname that she was given in previous games today, or will the Ugandan short corner prove otherwise? We shall see. And just like that, the Ugandans number 7, Atim Anita, takes the lead for Zambia.
Quite the goal.
Brilliant stuff, well set up, almost inexecuted. However, they recirculated it back. Just as you can see, number 7, Miss Atim Anita of Uganda, slaps that ball straight into the bottom right corner. A mistrap, however, that did not stop the ferocity of her stick into the connection of that ball, and as it hit the backboard of the goal, you can see the Ugandan women are really in it to win it. However, does Zambia have an answer to that goal? As we see Uganda really on the high press today. There's a different Ugandan team we're seeing. They have really been set back and feeling the game at first. However, today they are high pressing. You can really see.
They're bringing the fight.
They're really bringing that fight to Zimbabwe. This is going to be a game. Just stick around, people. This is really going to be a game. However, Zambia not giving up as they are on the counter right now. As number 17 of Zambia, Miss Nakombe Rachel, runs the ball. As we see Miss Chaya Memory play it into the circle. Hopefully trying to win the short corner. Miss Nakombe Rachel plays it back to Kalumbe Christine, who plays it in, however quickly intercepted.
We have a circle entry.
As the Ugandan defense proves to be steady and strong, winning themselves the ball and quickly play it out. As you can see, this Ugandan team is trying to get the quick counters while Zambia is not set up. This is an opportunity for them to quickly capitalize as the Zambian women just try to run back and set up formation in a defensive space. However, Uganda really pressing high. As we can see, they are doing a full court press.
They're really pressing the Zimbabweans into their own half. They're not giving the Zimbabweans any chance to. Zambians. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The Zambians, yeah? So
it's just a back and forth between the ladies right now. As you can see, each team trying as hard as possible to get that ball forward to their forwards and try to get that goal. However, we see the Zimbabwean women just taking their time to set up their formation, give themselves a structure. Give themselves a structure that can help in this. However, we see that Zambia is also going to try to have a high press to maybe force the mistake off the Ugandan women. Beautiful interception by Zambia's number 10, Chanja Rosemary. However, she loses the ball quickly and it is now turned over. Oh, no. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It is played in Zambia's favor. Will this be an opportunity that Zambia takes to play it in and get the goal? We shall see. However, she quickly loses the ball as they quickly try to set up. Uganda just playing it out wide, however losing the ball. Zambia's number 18, Patel Tanisha, quickly running the ball and played it to her partner Mutambo Mercy, who plays it into the circle, however quickly intercepted. Quickly intercepted by number 5 of Uganda, Atim Irene.
The Zambians are really pressing the Ugandans now. I feel like they really wanna equalize and give themselves a fighting chance at the third place matchup.
As we see, Uganda just managed to intercept that ball and played out and set up their defensive line again. However, Zambia not letting off the throttle, just going straight at it once again. Some brilliant dribbling from the number 13 of Zambia, Kalumbe Christine. However, she loses the ball and it is now played for the Ugandan women.
The Ugandans are really using their T-points. They're really trying to get out into their T-points, making the field wider for them, making the ball do the work.
However, Zambia not letting go. They are still going to press. As you can see, Uganda still utilizing this press very well, pushing most of their players into the Zambian half. You can see there's a lot of confidence. There's a level of confidence that the Ugandan women are showing in this game. However, one mistake could be costly for them, so they just need to be very wary. Brilliant run from Uganda, however quickly intercepted by Zambia, and now the counter is on as number 9 of Zambia, Miss Chadai Memory, tries to make the run and plays it to her teammate 18, Patel Tanisha. However, quickly intercepted brilliantly by captain of Uganda, Miss Jolly Alimo, and she leaves it for her fellow defender, Nandi Winnie, to play it out. As we can see, the Ugandans trying to set the tone for the game as they try to keep as much ball control as possible. However, the ball is lost and now played quickly by Zambia. We can see that this Zambian team trying to get the attack, however quickly dispossessed by Ugandan captain Jolly and played forward to their strikers. What a shot from number 12 of Uganda, Natamvazi Juliana, as she wins the ball and the foul just outside the circle, still giving her team an opportunity. Collected by her fellow teammate Atim Anita, who quickly tries to play it and play it into the circle. As we see Zambia try to quickly clear it, however unfruitful.
Ooh. Nasty backstick that one was.
Umpire just blows dangerous against Uganda's number 6, Miss Babia Juliet. Zambia now having an opportunity to reset and play it out from the back into the far lines as they run it out. We can see the Zambian women making the ball do the work, and now quickly on the counter as Miss Tangeri Priska makes the run. Zambia just winning a foul just outside the Ugandan women's circle. Umpire just telling her to come back as to where the foul took place. She still has to play it 5 outside as she plays it back to her fellow teammate, who quickly gets the ball as Miss Alimo
Nashori.
And just like that, the Zambian women have won themselves their first penalty corner. Will we see what they bring? Now we know that Zambia is very brilliant at winning penalty corners. However, will they capitalize quickly on this opportunity, or will the Ugandan defense prove otherwise? We will see.
Hopefully this is the equalizer that they so badly need.
We saw throughout the tournament that Zambia can really win a lot of short corners. However, turning them over has been a struggle. But today's game may prove otherwise, as we see they are really eager to win. Oh, a different variation today.
Oh, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, the ball is slapped and played onto the body of her fellow teammate, Miss Fira Alma, forcing a turnover by the Zambian women, and now a Ugandan ball.
No, they have a long corner.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The ball was played out, deflected out wide by Uganda, and is now a long corner for Zambia as they quickly play it into the circle. However, the number 3 of Zambia, Ms. Tangire Priska, just making it dangerous and forcing the turnover. Uganda trying to get ahead of Zambia and just get a quick counter. However, Zambia's high press not allowing them to do so. As we can see from the stats on your bottom left corner, Zambia and Uganda are level in shots, followed by Zambia dominating in circle penetrations, but Uganda not far with the 4 as to Zambia's 5. However, as you can see, ball possession is still 50-50, so this is anybody's game, with both teams having one for all in penalty corners. As you can see, both teams really trying to get those opportunities into the circle. However, with that many circle penetrations, they need to start utilizing those shots. Zambia quickly on the counter, trying to catch Uganda off guard. Brilliantly intercepted by the number 19 of Zambia, Esnart Soko, as she plays it, but it is played just out wide. However, Zambia keeping that high press. Uganda just using this time to set up their formation once again, as it's played out by Nandi Winnie of Uganda out wide, as her fellow teammate Miss Nisime Pauline runs the line, however quickly dispossessed, and now quickly played out by Mwale Salom of Zambia to her fellow teammate Chai Memory. Memory, some beautiful skill, and now runs the line, tries to get a quick pass into her fellow teammate Miss Mwale Salom, and she makes the run out wide, plays it into the circle to win.
Another shot.
Oh,
unfortunately, it's in the Ugandan favor. Uganda, unfortunately, they lose the ball. It's now a Zimbabwean ball, a Zambian ball.
Umpire just telling her to place the ball stagnant. Zambia not wasting any time, trying to get that ball into the circle as quick as possible. However, a turnover and in Uganda's favor. Uganda just trying to set up, but this Zambian press is really being tough on them. As we see the number 4 of Uganda, Miss Amira Delia, quickly playing it out. However, Zambia quickly intercepting the ball. However, umpire just tells her to take it back to where the foul was committed. But Zambia not letting off the throttle, quickly running the ball out the line, playing it out wide. Will they win themselves a short corner? The Ugandan defense proves strong again as they play it out quickly. However, Zambia right back at it. As the number 6 of Zambia, Miss Pira Anna, just trying to get that ball back. Umpire just telling her to set up once again where the foul was taken.
I feel like the Zambian girls also have like speed to their advantage. I feel like they're a bit faster than the Ugandan. They're really using speed to their advantage.
As we see, they are now pressing on a full court press. However, Uganda quickly intercepting and now making the run, playing it out wide to the number 14 of Uganda, Miss Natambo Nulin, who quickly loses the ball as it falls out wide. Zambia quickly using this opportunity but quickly intercepted. However, she's not 5. As we see the umpire just tell her to take it back. As you can really see, the Zambian women are really eager to get the game started. Not trying to waste any time, trying to play the ball out as quick as possible, catch the Ugandan women off guard. However, the umpire tells them to just take it back and start it off from a stagnant ball. But Zambia quickly on the press as we see Miss Chaya Memory make the run and play it in. However, the Ugandan defense proves yet again that they are not going to let Zambia through that easily. As the number 11 of Zambia just turns the ball over, Ms. Mutambo Mercy. Right from the get-go, these Zambian women are pressing them, not giving them a chance, but Uganda not giving up. Trying as quick as possible to get that ball out. As we see, she tries to play it wide, but quickly intercepted by the number 12 of Zambia, Male Salom, as she makes a dashing run into the circle. However, drawing the foul, just running it out, playing it wide, and drawing the short corner as the Ugandan woman was not 5 away from her. Brilliant stuff. She saw that the Ugandan woman did not keep the distance and just utilized this. Oh. And just like that, the first chaka comes to an end. Lovely stuff from both women. We can really see the eagerness of both teams to get the goals as they are pressing very high onto one another. What would you say?
Well, Uganda has the score on their favor, but you can see that Zambia is really hungry and very eager to get their goal, and they're really working very hard. As you can see, I feel like the last 5 minutes, Zambia was really pressing the Ugandans. They were more in their half, and they were pressing the Ugandans very high. So I feel like they have a pretty good chance at getting a goal, and probably also one-upping the Zambians. But obviously, you can see that, the Ugandans, but you can see that the Ugandans are also not letting Zambia have like an easy match, as you can see. What do you think?
Well, as you can see, once again on the scoreline, there is that beautiful deflection from the Ugandan player. Well played. We saw at the beginning that Uganda tried to control the game. However, as it came back, Zambia started immediately pressing on them. This is really one to watch.
100%.
Lots of circle penetration opportunities from Zambia. However, Uganda drew first blood as the scoreline remains Zambia 0, Uganda 1. As we are about to kick off the second chaka at the Devon Trusco Hockey Field in Windhoek, Namibia of the Junior Africa Cup, the first game of the day. As the women set up for the second chaka, we will see.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that both of these teams are both in the battle for a game in the third position. So obviously both of these teams they both want to be in that spot. So yeah.
Uganda once again quickly pressing. However, Zambia quickly intercepting and on the counter as quick as possible. Like we said, these two teams are eager for it. However, the number 2 of Zambia, Ms. Makoto Natasha, just loses the ball as number 7, Atim Anita, quickly plays it out wide to her fellow defender.
Uganda still with the ball.
Uganda just trying to
Unfortunately
utilize
loses
the
it.
wide line. However, they lose it to Zambia. Oh no, it is in Uganda's favor as they quickly get the counter on. Uganda not letting off, trying to get the quick press on Zambia, trying to get the quick edge and double their lead. However, they win themselves a long corner. Zambia just quickly falling back to set up and try to mitigate the Ugandan attack. Will we see something different today as she plays it in? Quickly intercepted. Played out wide. However, Uganda not letting go. Taking a shot.
And they have a goal.
And that's Uganda's second goal. Uganda utilizing the quick and high press. As you can see, the women celebrate that beautiful goal from Uganda's number 12, Natambazi Juliana. She placed her feet right on the spot, on the right spot, and just slapped it. Point of correction, ladies and gentlemen, goal was actually scored by Mr. Maya Nelly of Uganda. As we see the Ugandan women just capitalizing on the quick press in the early stages of the Chakas. We saw the first goal scored in the early stages, now the second one again. However, Zambia not letting go, trying as much as possible to get it forward. As we see the number 17, Ms. Nakombe Rachel, get a quick run into the circle. And winning her team the short corner immediately. You see, this Zambian team really wants it. They're not letting go. They're gonna press as much as possible.
They're not losing their momentum. Like they're honestly not letting the goal difference like put them down. It's actually very admirable. Can they get a goal from this one? Hopefully they can give the Ugandans an answer to their goal as well.
As we see Uganda's defense set up and Zambia's penalty corner set up. Will Zambia draw their first goal now, or will the Ugandan defense prove otherwise? Wicked shot from the Zambian player, however, wins another penalty corner as the ball was played off the body of the Ugandan defender. It's not over yet. Oh. However, just as the shot was taken by the Zambian player, it was blown
For another short corner.
for another penalty corner. We can see it's getting closer and closer for Zambia.
You can see a little bit of miscommunication there between the Zambian players. I feel like they could also push the ball out a bit faster. That would give them, because they're giving time for the what is this, the Ugandan defense to set up on their castle. So really leaves little room for them to do anything.
If they see that they're being pressed very quickly, they could just slip it back to the pusher, and she quickly slaps it straight down the line, and an opportunity for a deflection could be there. Different variations could be utilized by Zambia as they are dominating in penalty corners. However, they are not being fruitful. This is something we've seen that has happened a lot throughout this tournament. However, it's not over yet. We know the fighting spirit of the Zambian women. As Uganda's number 2, Miss Nandi Winnie, just playing it out wide, but quickly losing the ball. And the umpire just blows the whistle as we see a player down. Umpire just checking if everything is okay. Hopefully not a severe injury. So far in the second chaka, we've seen Zambia really press it high. They're not letting off that throttle. We can see they really want it. Although they conceded yet again, you can really see they're really eager to get those goals.
Yeah,
Uganda
really
being very clinical with the opportunities they're getting as their presses are being fruitful. However, Zambia just needs to reset their minds, pace themselves, and the goals will start flying in. We know that their counter is very good. It's just that finishing touch that is lacking at the moment.
My name is Björn Mack, I'm a biokineticist, and I'll be showing you a few own body weight kind of exercises, so meaning without using any specific equipment or weights. And even if you have a look at our space, we don't have a lot of weights and equipment lying around and hanging around. We do a lot of the exercises with our clients as well as patients with own body weight. And that has the advantage is you have to use so much more small stabilizing muscles instead of isolating certain muscles and just training that one muscle. The human body is quite amazing. It works together in specific kinetic chains, and you replicate that the best with own body weight kind of exercises, not with specific machines and equipment. The disadvantages of using too much weight and wrong technique will be if you're not grown up yet, you have growth plates in your bones. That's how our bones lengthen, that's how we get taller and longer. And if you use too much weight and use the exercise, do the exercises incorrectly, you might actually end up damaging that growth plate, and that will have long-lasting side effects. Okay, so that's the bone. If you overdo certain exercises like the bench press or the bicep curls, we also change the dynamics of our shoulder, because the pectoralis major, if it gets too tight, it'll rotate your whole shoulder forward actually. So we go into this kind of position, and that puts us at a disadvantage from our shoulder side, and we might end up injuring the shoulder. So these are negative side effects of overtraining, which occurs more often if you do the wrong exercises with too much weight. Lunges is a very nice and effective leg exercise, and you might hate me for it afterwards because it's super tough. You take a big step forward. Make sure your knees don't cross over your toes. So basically, when you take a big step forward, go straight down, don't lean forward, okay? Make sure you stay nice and upright, your neck and back in a neutral spine. From there, you take a big step back and then do this, the same movement with the other side. And now we've got a second exercise which targets more of your abdominals, and it's called the jackknife. Once again, as I mentioned, exercises can be quite tough even without weights. So what you're going to do, you're going to sit down on your bum, you're going to lean back a little, lift your feet off the floor, and then pull your knees towards your chest, and then extend your legs. Pull your knees in, extend your legs, so you will feel a nice burn in your abdominals, and you'll find it's quite effective to strengthen your abs. Work on that six-pack. Okay, and the third one I especially put in for you, these youngsters that want to be challenged. It's called the inchworms. It's a bit more difficult, so you're standing upright. From there, you'll bend down with your hands onto the floor. From there, you'll walk out as far as you can, hold that position a bit, and then follow up with your legs. Small little steps, bring that bum back up, and then repeat. Okay, so this is a whole body exercise, and I promise you, you will sweat while doing this, whether winter or summer, doesn't matter. I hope I was able to inspire you to do some exercises, and specifically some own body weight kind of exercises. So thanks for listening.
From the heart of Africa, where stories unfold, voices are heard, and the pulse of the nation beats. Welcome to NBC One, Namibia's most trusted news source. At NBC One, we bring Namibia and the world to you. Join us for a full range of content: news, interviews, documentaries, live parliamentary broadcasts, and so much more. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay connected. NBC One, your source for news that matters.
In the heart of Namibia, where the desert meets the ocean, the complete diamond value chain comes to life. It begins with the tireless efforts of companies like Deblery Namibia, a world-leading offshore diamond mining company, which is dedicated to responsibly extracting some of the finest diamonds from our shores.
If you look at our diamonds, probably not in volume, not as many as what other countries produce, but in terms of its value per unit, it is the highest value in the world.
So 80% or 85% of Namibia's diamonds go into jewelry, while in other countries often more than half of the diamonds are used for industrial purposes and are not useful for jewelry. So in that way we actually have got a fantastic story to tell. The diamonds which came down the Orange River into the sea and were mined at Oranjemund or starting in 1980 Lüderitz and so on have only the best have survived, and that's why the quality is so high.
This year, the Coleman's Cooper Diamond Shop added a special touch to the Miss Namibia journey. As part of the prize package, Coleman's Cooper Diamond Shop generously sponsored 3 exquisite diamonds, one each for Miss Namibia 2024 and her 2 princesses. These Namibian diamonds added a uniquely local sparkle to this year's Miss Namibia journey.
The winner of Miss Namibia and the 2 princesses have been given a diamond. So we have offered to provide the pendant for it, whatever color gold they would like. So one of the princesses has selected rose gold, one of the princesses has selected yellow gold, and the third person did select white gold. Quite interestingly, they all selected a different color because it's suitable to their skin and to their liking.
At Adrian and Maya Jewelers, these precious gems were set into stunning necklaces, personally designed by the title holders themselves. Each necklace a reflection of their personal style, crafted with the expertise and artistry of one of Namibia's oldest and most treasured jewelers. Today, we witness the final step in the journey of these precious stones as Miss Namibia 2024 and her 2 princesses receive their custom-designed necklaces.
It's an honor for me to have you here. I think I never had so much beauty in my store besides my jewelry. You know, it's a diamond country. And so that you're good ambassadors for diamonds, I want to teach you how you grade them when the diamonds are being cut. So we talk about the 4 C's. The first C is always the color grade, and then the second C would always be the clarity. The third C is the cut grade. That's actually the only C which is influenced by man. So if this is a diamond, the proportions, the upper body, the lower body, and the angles all have to be perfect in order to give the shine of the diamond, so that it gets a high brilliance. And the 4th C is then the carat, which means the weight of the stone.
Miss Namibia and her 2 princesses personally selected their designs, each opting for the timeless elegance of gold, with their diamonds taking center stage.
We have displayed the jewelry we manufactured for you, which you selected, and your diamonds which you brought to us. So we've set the diamonds in here. So one of you chose the white gold pendant, one a yellow gold pendant, and another person a silver, a rose gold pendant.
Miss Teen Namibia and their 2 runners-up were gifted custom-made silver necklaces, meticulously crafted by Adrian and Maya Jewelers. From the depths of the Atlantic Ocean in the hands of Miss Namibia and her princesses, these diamonds represent the full circle of Namibia's renowned diamond value chain. A heartfelt thank you to Deputy Namibia, Coleman's Cooper Diamond Company, and Adrian and Maya Jeweler for making this moment unforgettable. Together, they have not only crowned queens but also completed a journey that celebrates the beauty of Namibia, both in its people and its precious gems.
There.
We're at Nankuse Lodge and Wildlife Sanctuary. The place is absolutely beautiful. As you know, on Knowing Namibia, we are very keen on taking part in a variety of activities. This morning, we are going on a carnivore feeding tour. Heading towards our carnivore feeding tour, we passed by an adult baboon enclosure, and the crew couldn't help but stop. So they have personalities, they have names, and they're smart. Let's take a look at baboons. Jackma baboons are found throughout Namibia, but you can easily spot them around Windhoek as well as the south of the country. These creatures are one of the largest and heaviest of the baboon species. Although they are said to be incredibly strong and very aggressive, they are actually quite clever with great personalities. The Wildlife Sanctuary is situated on a 3,200-hectare reserve near Windhoek and provides a safe haven for various African wildlife. Many of the animals here have been orphaned, hand-raised from a very young age, or have become too used to captivity and cannot safely be released. We continued with our drive, admiring the scenery and a number of wild animals along the way. Then we saw what looked like an abnormally big domestic cat. Our guide Solomon informed us that it was a caracal. The word caracal means black ears in Turkish. The caracal is the largest of the African small cats and has a very robust build. Caracals are solitary animals and social interactions are limited. These cats are mostly nocturnal but have been spotted during daylight in protected areas. Do you know what the most exciting part about this ride is? The carnivore feeding. I've actually never seen lions being fed before. I know Namibia has a lot of carnivore feeding tours, but for some reason, I've never really gotten around to it. But knowing Namibia, it's gonna take me there today. So, I have never, ever been so close to a lion before. It's almost the happiest moment of my life. He's getting aggressive because he can see the meat. Perfect catch. Meatball. After putting up a show and having received their chunks of meat, the lions disappeared into the sanctuary. I spent some time talking to Solomon about these impressively scary beasts.
We are not allowed to breed with animals in captivity. That's the law of Namibia. So we do vasectomy on the male, not castrating. Okay. There are two things that we may know about the castrating and vasectomy. If we do castrate a male lion, he loses main hair, so falls down, and that will change even the behavior. You even see the male was more aggressive than the female. Yeah. That's just for him to protect his female, to show that this is my territory, this is my female, and I'm gonna protect her. That's why he's so loud. I have never seen lions being fed before in my life. This was the first time. Just hearing that growl from within, it was extremely terrifying, and my heart is still beating. But it's definitely an experience that everybody should come and check out.
After the lions, our feeding tour continued, and we soon encountered leopards and cheetahs.
So on Billy is the male leopard, and I'm gonna feed him right now.
A significant number of Namibians still find it hard to distinguish the difference between these two big cats. If you look really carefully,